In our last update on Polygon, we were in the middle of a wave 2, and we were getting close to what I was expecting to be the bottom. And ever since then, we have had some nice developments both in Polygon and across the entire crypto sector. When we look at our 1 hour chart, we'll see that we had our 5-wave impulse, which is marked in purple. And of course, this followed nearly perfect Fibonacci standard extensions, topping out at the 1.764 extension, which is around 11.89 billion. And then we had a very sharp drop for our A wave of the larger wave 2, a nice classic zigzag wave B, and then finally an impulsive wave C to complete our wave 2. That wave 2 fell just a smidge below our ideal 61.8% retrace mark, but we have been rallying bullishly ever since that bottom. As far as I can tell, this looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 structure, and we are presumably in a microsecond wave. Fortunately for us, we got nowhere near our 76.4% retrace level, so this is not relevant at the moment. I'm going to make our support 6.73 billion instead, which is the low that we hit at the bottom of our wave 2. But with this possible 1-2 setup that we have here, I would prefer that we hold 7.69 billion, which is marked with this red line here. It is a great time to buy in Polygon. This may be the last chance you get at buying a sizable lump sum for quite a while, because we're already seeing great bullishness across the rest of the crypto sector. If you've been dollar cost averaging, of course, you can continue to do your thing. But if you're someone who is relatively new to cryptos or are planning to dollar cost average your way into larger holdings, I would actually recommend buying a larger lump sum now and then putting in less in your dollar cost average purchases later, just because we are at such a favorable buying point at this moment. On our big picture pattern, we of course have reset our MACD, which went well below zero, and now we are rallying to the point where we are just about to surpass the subwave 1 high. Historically, of course, this large impulse wave started during the everything crash in March of 2020, and we have a very extended impulse wave, which I'm calling just a single large first wave impulse followed by a second wave pullback. And our 1-2 that we've had over the past few months is shown here. And of course, to the right, we have a logarithmic Fibonacci extension tool built out to give us our projections for what we're expecting to see next. So provided that we hold our supports, our subwave 3 is targeting between 31.8 and 41.5 billion. Both of those targets fall within this purple box. However, we do have some significant resistances overhead, one of which is, of course, the 0.236 extension at 19.9 billion. So we may struggle a little bit to get through that, but after a couple of head bumps against this, we should get right through it. The next resistance up is at the 0.32 extension, which should be a stronger resistance. That falls at right at 54.3 billion. So there's a very good chance that our subwave 3 could extend up to that right now. After that, expect a sideways subwave 4 correction, and then our 5th subwave, or the top of our larger 5-wave rally, should project somewhere between 49 and 63.7 billion. But just like with the subwave 3, there are several significant resistances at play here, which means that our subwave 5, or the ultimate top, could fall anywhere within this purple box. If we hit the lower target at 48.9 billion, we're looking at a more than a 4.5x return from where we are. However, the upper target is closer to 122 billion. We have a target as high as 127 billion, and either of those targets could get us a 12.5x return. Now, if you're wondering why my return projections are lower than they were in the last video, well, that's actually for a very good reason. We've rallied that much. When I made the last update for Polygon, we were actually very close to the bottom of our subwave 2, and we've rallied pretty powerfully since. So our overall projections haven't changed one bit. It's just that our current price is significantly higher than it was at the last video. So that's a good problem to have right there. In addition, we have an outside shot at hitting the 0.618 extension, which would fall out about 275 billion, and that would give us a nearly 27x return from where we are. So I'm not ruling this out. It's a relatively small probability at this moment, and it could only go up in probability if we see some really powerful extensions during the progress of this rally. Now, what happens after we hit this top? Well, if you've been following my other updates across the crypto universe, this narrative will be very familiar. This top should coincide with a major market top for Ethereum and Bitcoin, after which we would expect a very strong crash in Bitcoin and Ethereum, which may catch a lot of people by surprise. And in most altcoins, I expect a pretty sizable crash as well, but I don't expect it to be as severe as with Bitcoin or Ethereum. Again, it's a little too early to tell for sure. So for that reason, this would be a great place to start taking profits and reallocating into other asset classes or even stable coins. So as we approach that top, we can worry about that problem then. Right now, we're trying to get through this impulsive rally structure that we have, and things are looking really good. Polygon's relatively bullish. There's several cryptos that you can see are very green. I have a bunch listed here. We have strong evidence that our subwave 3 has
commenced
across the crypto universe. So if you enjoy my video, please like, and for continuing updates on Polygon as well as other cryptocurrencies, please subscribe. Until next time, thank you for watching. Happy trading.